This video is basically a video from James from ingvid.com. I just redid it, so it would be more appropriate for my fourth graders. So big shout out to you, James. Thank you. And check out www.ingvid.com. They have some great resources. Boring. I'm not reading that. Oh, hello, kiddos. Just who I need, because we need to talk about how to set up your first paragraph in your essay. And if you set it up really well, your whole essay is going to be so much easier to write. So that's what we're going to do today. Let's start off with the hook. You have to hook your reader in and keep them. I don't know, that article I'm not reading because frankly it was pretty boring at the beginning. So your hook, you might do at the beginning. You might come back and do later. You never know. It just depends on when you come up with that good idea. We're going to come back to that later, though, because I want to do it later, not first. What you're going to start with first is your topic. What's your topic on? What's it about? What's the big idea? This is the idea. Okay? For example, we're going to do fighting, and I have this whole video that I'm basically redoing because I found it on the internet and I really liked what the guy did, but it wasn't quite right for you fourth graders. So this is not all my content, this is redone. And I'll show you the regular video too. But anyways, we're going on. So say I'm doing fighting. Then I have to look at it through my lens, right? So this is my magnifying glass, how I'm looking at this issue closely. So how am I going to do that? Now, I've got the yin and the yang in here. When you have something, there's always balance. There's always the light side and the dark side. Luke, come to the dark side. Sometimes you want to look at something from the light side. Sometimes you want to look at it from the dark side. I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to go with the dark side. Yes, I have gone over to the dark side. And those of you who know me, you're not surprised. I'm going to go with this one, and I'm going to say, fighting is necessary. What? She's a teacher, for goodness sakes. What are you talking about? Fighting is necessary. I'm going to say it's not only necessary, and I'm going to say that it's good. I know, you think I'm out of my mind, but you've thought that before, so you're used to it. All right, so now I'm going to make this into my thesis statement. I'm going to put my idea and my perspective together into my thesis statement. So I'm going to write here, right? Newsflash, big, you know, I'm striking you with my idea here. That's why the light can pull. So I'm going to say fighting is not only good, I'm going to switch them around, but necessary. I know. You're thinking, what? She's completely lost it. Just work with me here. Work with me here. So now I'm going to get over here my green. You know this. Proof, right? We always have to have proof to support what we're saying. So if I'm saying fighting is good, you're saying, Mrs. Moses, you always tell us fighting's not okay at school. I do. So how am I going to prove this then? Well, let's go with this. So fighting comes from a conflict. So I'm going to talk about conflict and fighting. Hurt. Usually someone gets hurt when there's a fight, right? We all know that. And then there's an outcome of fighting. What happens after the fight? So here's my basis for my first part of my essay. And I know you're still not with me, right? Am I still confusing me? Are you still hooked? I'm good, aren't I? All right, so I'm going to say fighting is not only good but necessary, because sometimes in our lives there is conflict between good and evil. And we can't just stand back and let evil take over. Otherwise, there's going to be hurt. Much more so than if we stood up and fought for what we believed in. Now, as it happens right now, it's Passover. I'm in here on spring break. You guys are out enjoying yourselves. Here I am working. But think back to this example. If Moses and the slaves had not stood up and fought back, things would have been worse. So in that conflict between how the slaves were being treated and what Moses believed, there was a conflict. Moses and the Hebrews decided to stand up and fight. And not only was that necessary, but that was good. You catching me here? Yes, some people got hurt in that conflict. But the outcome prevented many more people from getting even more hurt in the long run. So yes, sometimes fighting is not only necessary, but it's good. It's what we should be doing. I got you, didn't I? So now I'm going to go back to my hook. I've got to hook my readers into this argument as I'm going. So, fighting is necessary, but not only good. Now remember, with a hook, you might do an interesting fact. You might give a little short story. You might start with a quote. You might start with even a joke sometimes, if it's appropriate, not if it's serious. And you might start with some amazing thing that's going to blow somebody's mind. Okay? So, I'm going to start with, let's see. Do I want a quote? Have to think about it for a while. So I think, I'm going to start with a famous quote. There's a famous quote called, goes like this: all is fair in love and war. All is fair in love and war. Well, war, that kind of makes sense, right? Because war people a lot of times aren't following rules. It's a fight, but love? All's fair in love? Yes, because sometimes if you love something or someone, you have to fight for it. You have to stand up for it. So I will work that into this when I write my essay. Now, when you go on to your essay, when you do the body of your essay and you have at least 3 paragraphs in the body of your essay, 1 paragraph is going to be about conflict, 1 paragraph will be about hurt, in my case, in my essay, and 1 paragraph will be about the outcome of a fight. And then my conclusion will be this restated. So if you get this mapped out, this first part, the whole rest of your essay is now going to be almost written for you. You just have to take your ideas and put them into sentences and give some supporting proof for these. Of course, I like supporting proof. All right? So that's it for today. Good luck with your essays. Work hard. Don't be lazy. And find something good to read. I'm going to look for a better article with a better hook.